Welcome to the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, where we bring you a weekly dose of powerlifting news, tips, and training advice with a touch of 80s rock ballads. This podcast is presented by Team Roar Powerlifting, your source of the most comprehensive coaching and meet day preparation. Here are your hosts, Josh Rohr and Laura Sturm.
All right, welcome to our presidential candidate series of the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast. We are joined today by presidential candidate Daniel Mako Kim. Daniel, how you doing?
Very, very good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm actually really excited because I didn't know you'd be doing this at first. And if anything, I think it's a great opportunity for people to see my face, hear my voice, and see what I'm all about.
Well, don't get too excited because I have questions for you. So,
Oh, I love questions.
All right, well, we'll jump right into it. So first question, just kind of open-ended here. Like, who are you? What inspired you to run for president? And what unique qualifications or experiences do you feel make you the best candidate for the role?
Okay, well, full name Daniel Mako Kim. Some people call me Daniel, some people call me Mako, whatever you prefer. I'm cool with. I am a Korean American born in New York, in Queens, Flushing, Queens, for those of you familiar. I am turning 40 in just a few months. So I do think I'm kind of like in a good sweet spot for a presidential candidate. And as president, if I am granted the opportunity and people believe in my cause, please know that this is going to be not a remote position for me. I will be moving to the United States, where I already do technically live a good chunk of the year. But I'm going to be living probably full time out of Hawaii and New Jersey because I have family in both places, and my original family house is in New Jersey. So don't think of me as like this distant candidate in faraway land. I'm going to be on the ground. And actually, one of the first things I plan to do is do a road trip tour of the US presidential tour, if you want to call it that, and visit all our states and get on the ground and get involved. In terms of my other background, I went to school all in the States. I lived in New York, New Jersey. University, I went to Cornell, to what is called the hotel school. And I more so specialized in hospitality management and information systems, like computer kind of stuff, but at the same time, balancing it with hospitality, which I do think is applicable to the role I'm seeking, because in the end, I do want to serve our members, make them feel at home in our organization. And other than that, I have lived in Korea as an expat for quite a while now, and I set up a few businesses here. I specialize in kind of like private education, if you will, like extracurricular education, because that's a big thing in Korea, like going to like after school programs to, brush up on things. And I've run what is called a hagwon or academy for, let's see, since 2012, but I've been involved in the industry since 2008. So all in all, I've taught basically thousands of high school students advanced English reading, writing. I've also, taught U.S. history. I've helped students apply to colleges as a consultant, helping them build their resumes, build their extracurriculars, help them with their essays a bit. I also love creative writing. And other than that, I started a powerlifting gym in South Korea in 2018. It's the first of its kind, literally the first and foremost, I'd like to say, powerlifting gym in Seoul and pretty much all of South Korea. And I've kind of been behind, I hope, the growth of powerlifting over here. And it has exploded in popularity, to the point that, the concept of SBD, meaning the three lifts of squat, bench, and deadlift, are almost mainstream now here. Like people actually ask, "Hey, like, what's your total?" Even if they're not powerlifters.
That's awesome.
No, for real. Like, I mean, in Korea they call it like 삼대 운동, which means like the three lifts exercise, which means like, squat, bench, dead. And like, on fitness channels on YouTube in Korea. YouTube is quite big here. On Instagram, social media, people be like, if I had to translate it, like, what are your three lifts, as in your total? And it doesn't have to be on the platform, but I'd like to think I played a decent role in helping that to happen. And yeah, otherwise, I think you asked, what am I inspired by in terms of running for president? Well, to be honest, I didn't even get into this, like as state chair of USAPL Korea, which started in 2022, right after our split from the IPF. I saw a lot of opportunity here because, I was already quite involved in the powerlifting community, and I knew we had a much better option or much better avenue for competitive powerlifting than the very few options we had. To say the least, they were not doing a good job, and I thought I could give them a much better platform, figuratively and literally. And we've exploded in popularity. We have, at our peak, we had like around 500 members, and we're still ranging from 400 to 500 members in just 3 years. I've run 24 or 25 competitions. By the end of the year, it'll probably be about 25, 27 even. I've been very active in all of them. And that I think leads me to what inspired me to run for president. I feel like, I mean, not to sound cheesy, but I feel like I was born for this. Like all my passions have brought me to the powerlifting community, not just in Korea, but in the States, internationally. It's really fulfilling for me, even though like I myself am not a serious competitor due to some injuries. I love setting a professional, entertaining, very inclusive platform for everyone to compete on. I love to have like really high standards and production value. I love to have like very entertaining competitions where everyone has a super memorable experience. I also like to like make all our competitions kind of like thematic, so it feels like, like a separate experience. It's almost like if you didn't compete at that one, you kind of missed out. And we have like almost like a collectible series of our medals. Like they're all very unique and different. And I can tell like people love collecting them all. It's kind of like Pokemon, you know? Uh,
I don't know Pokemon. I know what it is, but I'm
yeah,
not into
yeah.
it.
I mean,
But I get it. A lot of people are.
yeah, of course. And that's what inspired me to run for president because I feel as though I can do more for our community, not just in Korea, but again, I'm an American at heart from New York. Uh, that's where my true identity is. But at the same time, I have an international side to me, and I want to do more for our organization. I think there are things that we do extremely well, but I think there are some things we can do better. And I feel as though I have the particular set of skills, like Liam Neeson said.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, if I want to speak into the microphone with a creepy voice, I'll find you. But yeah, I feel like as though my skills are very uniquely suited to making sure our organization thrives on a domestic and international level. And I feel as though I resonate with all age divisions, whether you're a youth lifter, teen, junior, open, master. Um, I've dealt with people from all walks of life. I feel like I excel at communicating. I'm a very tech forward type of person, and I think I bring some very unique skills to the table. For instance, besides the fact that I do specialize in English communication, public speaking, creative writing, professional writing, basically all things English, I do think are my forte. But besides that, I absolutely love technology, whether that is the hardware aspect of things, like live streaming. I've set up personally myself every single live stream we've ever done. Every single meet did have a live stream, and I didn't have a whole team behind it. It was just me and one guy pressing the buttons to switch, the cameras. I'm really passionate about that level of production. But I'm also fond of the future. AI is a buzzword these days, and I think we need to embrace the good aspects of it while making sure that we retain our identity and tap the unique identities of our lifters and members and leaders. So, for instance, I don't think we should be integrating things like ChatGPT to be writing our posts for us. I don't think that's a good idea. It's very impersonal, and I'm very much against it. But costs are a matter, right? Like we need to integrate things that expedite the tedious aspects of behind the scenes powerlifting, tracking memberships, whatnot, improving our website, our databases, those things AI can excel. Also on the artistic side, like to be honest, like one of the things I've always been jealous of growing up is true artists. Like my older sister was kind of like blessed with artistic skills, and I'm not hesitant to say that I was very jealous of her. She was just like naturally good at drawing, and you know, she always helped me out on my school projects, and I was like, damn, I wish I could do that. And I do think I've had like this artistic side of my brain, but it was more channeled toward like creative writing. And I've always thought I had that at least artistic or aesthetic vision. It's just these damn hands. I just couldn't do it myself. But now that these, AI imaging video tools exist, like I have been able to bring to life some of the things that were stuck, in the depths of my mind, that were stuck in like text form, so to speak. And I think I've mastered how to do it very economically. So, meet directors, we don't have tons of resources on the local level. As a active meet director myself, often my goal is at least break even, and having some extra money on the side for a rainy day is good too. But at the same time, I want this high production value and being able to hype up our meets. So I've been able to integrate, things like AI artwork and videos into promoting our meets and bringing in the youth and generating interest online on things like Instagram. And I think people appreciate that. And I can't afford, as a meet director, to be hiring expensive artists every time, right? So at least at the local level, I'm not saying that the national level um, should be using AI art for stuff. I think that, in those cases, we can divert resources to hire the professionals and get small businesses and artists and our own members who are good at that stuff involved. But at the local level, why not? Like it's more a matter of like if we don't use those tools, then we might not even have any artwork. It might be just like a very simple logo and no hype at all. So I think we should navigate this new era of AI in a balanced way. Like use it where it's appropriate and where it's cost effective. And then at the higher end, make sure we keep those professionals involved. And of course, yeah, let's stay away from AI writing. I think that goes too far in what we don't need to do. Let's see, other skills I think I bring to the table, again, brings it back communication. Like, other than the fact that I think I can communicate with our membership base very well, um, I'm the type of guy who says, I'm always on the clock. Like, you send me an email at 1 in the morning, boom, you'll have a response within the next few minutes if I have access to my phone or computer. I say I'm only off the clock when I'm literally sleeping. Right? Like if I'm in La La Land dozing off, then I probably can't respond to you. But hey, if I happen to wake up even in the middle of the night and I see your message, I'll respond to it. I know how to navigate social media. I know how to be more active with our community and also with our leadership. I think I can be a good team leader in bringing the existing executive committee and committee chairs and state chairs together so that we're all on the same page. even on a daily basis. Other than that, yeah, I think that a long-winded
Yeah.
response, of course, but I do think that that first question is quite a doozy. I think that kind of wraps up what I do well. If I had to add one more thing, I do think I have the most international experience. I have played a significant role in bringing more countries to the USAPL and IDFPA with the help of course, Wade Johnson of the International Committee and Joanne Craig. You know, they did a ton of work in communicating and upholding standards. And I think I was more on the ground, so to speak, you know, speaking directly with the state chairs there and the meet directors to show them the nitty gritty of how to actually put on a competition. And the ones I played a role in, I think, are doing quite well. And I very much look forward to establishing more relationships like that, especially in Europe, where I think we're slightly lacking and there's a lot of potential.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that was extensive.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, that's good. It's all good. All right. Question number two. Can you speak to Brother Bennett's philosophy and how do you feel that philosophy fits in today's powerlifting world?
Yeah, Brother Bennett's legacy has always resonated with me because let's be honest, like that's the main reason we had that issue with the IPF, right? Drug testing policies, making sure that we are truly aspiring to be a drug-free sport, and the key phrase, fair play, right? Uh, for background there, Korea and its other branches that existed prior to USAPL Korea, they had done virtually zero testing. Okay, we're talking uh, across a span of like 20 to 30 years. I think they did literally five tests or something like that, maybe six. And of those six or whatever number, I think majority of them were forced, like they had to do the test one time to send their athletes over to an Asia championship. And that didn't sit right with me for obvious reasons, because how is it a drug-free sport if you're not really testing? Like, I can't even do the math there. I'm actually, surprisingly, I'm the type of Asian who does not do math well. I'm more of the English Asian. There's such a thing. But we're talking like 0.1% testing probably in the history of Korean powerlifting before USAPL got here. And I think it was common sense. Like, how is it controversial that testing 10% or more of your athletes is a bad thing? Like, I think that it's common sense that more testing is better. I think the concept of using WADA as a scapegoat to say that they're more legitimate in their drug testing is what I just called it, a scapegoat. And it's just not feasible on as large of a scale as USA Powerlifting provides. And I think all the opponents to what we do with drug testing are reaching for conspiracy theories. You know, I think that they're saying, well, it's not WADA, it's not like an official third party. I I think they don't know what they're talking about because you know we do have a legitimate training program for our referees who become doping control officers. We have a very specific set of guidelines. I think Joanne Craig in particular is doing a very good job on upholding those and training people. And this excuse that, hey, you know, what if an athlete ends up testing an athlete? Well, why is that necessarily a bad thing? Like, well, do you think someone at WADA is necessarily automatically like free from corruption and the potential of wrongdoing? We're reaching at straws here for conspiracy theories, and of course, things could go wrong. But all people have potential for corruption. It doesn't mean you should stop testing or do such minimal testing. Not to mention the fact that we do third-party testing. Right? It's not like we were trying to be absolute and say we're only going to do our in-house testing. We wanted to reach a middle ground. We were being very reasonable. We said we're going to do both. You know, we'll have separate pools of athletes, some who are at the highest tiers tested by the WADA laboratories and whatnot, and then our own. And the whole point is deterrence as well, right? Like the fact that we drug test 10% and people know it, deterrence is so important. Like just because athletes know that, there of course is a significantly lower chance that they're going to risk getting popped, right? And some of it is very deliberate in terms of the athletes we choose, and some of it is random. And I think that's the best way to go. And I think Brother Bennett had it right in like helping to establish this 10% number, which I've heard did not come out of nowhere. It was based on research uh, pertaining to like, the potential percentage of people who might be doping in strength sports. So it's not like we pulled it out of nowhere. 10% makes sense, and I think it has been very effective. We also have a very public database on this. And as president, I have absolutely zero plans on changing our policies with Brother Bennett's philosophy and our drug testing. Do I think it's infallible? No. I think we can make even more stringent standards and make sure we communicate them more effectively. Uh, but nobody's perfect. But I think we're closer to perfect than what our opposition is doing.
All right. Question number 3. What do you see as the biggest challenges facing USA Powerlifting today, and how would you address them if elected?
I think the biggest challenge is always first and foremost as a very large organization that has like skyrocketed in membership within the last decade is communication. Obviously, managing communication when we were 5 to 8,000 members is a different ballgame from managing now 25 to 30,000 members, some of whom are across the world. And we need to be able to address all levels, like the communicating from the local to the state, national, international level. A big complaint I've heard is that members often don't feel heard. They feel as though they send emails and days and weeks may go by. Maybe they get a response, maybe they don't. State chairs sometimes reach out and they feel as though they're not heard. And again, I excel at communication. I'm always on the clock. 100%. I think I can help address that. I know we also have a new executive director, Heather Foss, who's doing already a superb job in addressing that potential shortfall. I've heard always great things about her. Just had a meeting with her, last night, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how she could plug that hole, because she already is. Other challenges. Obviously, we have a declining membership within the last year. I think it was the biggest hit we took. But at the same time, I think people should know that it's not just because of other federations. Um, this I think we've done studies, not full-blown scientific studies, but the research has shown that we also had a huge membership boom along with other sports due to the COVID era, right? Like a lot of people suddenly entered sports right after the end of the lockdowns and whatnot, and that might have temporarily artificially boosted everyone's memberships, like across all sports, not just powerlifting. And now we're kind of seeing a natural cycle of that decline. And it's not just us, right? CrossFit, huge decline, other sports as well. But of course, we can't discount the fact that our competitors may be playing a role in that decline. So one challenge, of course, is showing our members and potential new members that we are the only legitimate, drug-free, fair play option in powerlifting in America and the rest of the world, um, and resonating with them more. Like I do feel as though things like social media, although we're doing a great job with that in the past few weeks, I do think we have a new media team on that. Like we need to resonate with our younger audience, our younger membership pool better. We need to show that our elite lifters, should stay with us. got to build more loyalty. And other than that, again, integrating more technology, providing more tools to our meet directors and state chairs across the country and the world. But other than that, in terms of challenges, I think we do uh, a lot of things already very, very well. And there are just a couple minor challenges we face in securing our membership, letting them know we hear them, and just attracting more and keeping them.
So you kind of touched on the next question a little bit already, but if you want to expand on it at all, excuse me, how do you plan to grow the sport and improve the experience for both new and veteran lifters from the local level all the way up through the international level?
Yeah, I could certainly expand on that because for new lifters, of course, a lot of them are going to be younger. Um, just by nature, we have a lot of youth entering this sport, and we can capitalize on that. A lot of teen and junior lifters. I mean, look at these records, right? Like these days, half the time, the juniors are the ones breaking world records. So at the lowest level, um, I feel like I can help meet directors not only grow in number, so that means more meet directors, but set them on the right path from the beginning. Like I want to spearhead, in cooperation with our other committees, more guidelines, video series, and tutorials for our meet directors, new and veteran alike. I want to have more referees with a streamlined process, and again, video tutorials and a better way to train them and uphold standards. And what else? At the local level, again, I want to integrate more technology to increase the production quality. For instance, I'm not talking bad about anyone, but I think logos, some people need help with that. We could put the tools in their hands and tutorials on how to develop much more professional or, hype type of logos. Even banners, small things like that. People need help on making them look professional and appealing. Live stream, like, might be a daunting thing to a lot of people who are not like very tech savvy, but I can simplify that. I can give them tutorials on like the easy version of live streaming and then, graduate up to top tier national level live streaming. And other than that, let's see, national level, of course, I'm hearing a lot from our community on their opinions regarding like what our nationals should be. My opinion is that our nationals is like our trademark, spectacle event. Like that is what we're known for, and we do an awesome job of it. But I'm hearing from members that they're not sure if separating something like masters from the other age divisions at our nationals is a good idea. And I don't have all the answers, but I'm willing to listen. And I think we should have things like town halls. Like I'm very excited to lead town halls, like whether it's monthly, quarterly, biannually, whatever. The more the merrier for me. And get members of our executive committee on the same calls, speaking with our members. Not just impersonal text surveys. We got to show our face, show that we're invested. And I want to know their opinion. Like I've heard from some that they want to have our masters and other age divisions together, some separate. But I think I can make our nationals even more spectacular because, as I said, I do have some background in live streaming and media. I know our media team already does a great job with live streaming, but I have things I would like to recommend to spice it up even a little more, and I think I could directly help in that too.
Give me an example of one thing,
Okay,
just like
uh,
one off the top of your head.
sure. No, not to knock on anyone because I know why they do it. It's a practical reason, but I don't like the split screen thing going on in our live streams. But I know why they do it because obviously limited resources, like you can't always dedicate a full set of cameras to every platform and have a set of commentators, managing each one. You know, manpower is limited, so I can see that. And it also simplifies the process of finding the stream, right? If you just see one link for the stream and both platforms are on it, great. But I don't think the viewers like it. it's a little cluttered, and I think we can separate the streams, per platform, and I do think we can recruit more volunteers for commentating. That's one. I do think I could help improve the graphics that go on our, big TV screens. For example, when you load the bar with a record attempt or 666, the number of the beast, right? Uh, I'm not saying those are bad, but I feel like we could refresh them and spice them up a bit. I think the fact that we have these TV screens at all our big competitions, we could put more attention into making them even more spectacular. Uh, yeah, what else? For live streams, integrating more live cameras. I think one of the coolest aspects of a live stream is seeing the lifters, warm up, or sorry, right about to get on the platform, seeing their face, whether they're sniffing some chalk or powdering up. Uh, so it's not sniffing some chalk, sniffing some ammonia, or powdering up with the chalk. That's really cool, and I think we can do that more. Which again, I get it. Like we do need more volunteers to help us in that case. But those are like, the little details, the cherry on top that separates a very, very good live stream from a spectacular, really engaging live stream. And again, I think they've been doing a great job. Please don't take it personally, but I want to make it even better if possible. Um, and finally, I think the last part of the question is international. Well, I do think, again, I've already played a big role in our international initiatives. In fact, I have been put in charge as meet director of our first World Open and Masters Championship to be held in Seoul, South Korea, December 11th through 14th. And again, I have a lot of relationships with international powerlifting communities already. So I do think I bring a more international perspective to the table. And I do think we should invest a bit more resources into growing our international membership base.
Cool. All right, next question. USA Powerlifting has faced various controversies, challenges, and policy changes over the years. How would you address those items as president?
The funny thing is, like, I would say, like, when you sent me this list of questions, I had a very instinctive response to all of them. And this is the only one that had me thinking because I was like, have we honestly been controversial? Controversial would imply that we have done something, very significantly wrong that people were very divided on. And the only controversy that first comes to mind that truly affects our membership base is our split from the IPF, right? And I think that was done for the right reasons. And I think we are the legitimate organization to lead this future of powerlifting. So there, I don't think we've done anything wrong. In terms of other policy changes, I think that we are much more flexible than every other organization out there. We've adapted to recent controversies like equipment policies, right? We don't take bribes. Oh, I'm sorry. That maybe is not the right word. Yeah, we don't take fees, absurd ones.
You know what you said.
Yeah, yeah. Oops, my bad. I'm sure we could edit that out. No, no. No.
Well, it's not wrong, I don't think.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So we are the organization for the lifters, and we don't take those ridiculous fees because that is not in the interest of the lifters and the sport. We just have a set of specifications, which have also been flexible in adapting to evolving trends and evolving equipment. And we listen. So, in terms of other policy changes, I think all of our recent policy changes regarding for example, our update to the rule book every year, they're always flexible. For instance, a recent rule change was becoming more lenient about what kind of logos and apparel can be worn on the platform. And we used to kind of have a policy that you have to have like a club at least to have like a custom logo on your shirt or singlet or belt or whatever. Well, I think we've adapted and said, hey, the more democratic approach is get rid of that. And as long as it's not, any vulgarity or curse words or some controversial image, then you're free to put whatever you want. And that's what the sport is about, right? Like it is an individual technical sport. I know we have the team aspects as well. Predominantly, we're an individual sport, so why not promote individuality? Wear what you want on the platform, as long as it fits in the specs and doesn't give you an unfair advantage. And help the companies that help us. Like, why not? Common sense. We're all in this together. We should be working synergistically, not monopolistically, not with an elitist approach. That is the farthest from powerlifting. Nothing like that should be there.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. If you are elected as the next USA Powerlifting president, what would success look like at the end of your term? What key accomplishments do you hope to achieve?
Awesome question. I have two sides to this, right? Like I am an entrepreneur and a businessman, and then I have my, you know, emotional side, to the sport. So if we can, if I may, like, the logical side and the emotional side. From the logical side, I have to be a president who does boost our membership base, make sure our finances are in order, make sure we're in the black, not in the red when it comes to the bank books, and that we're saving up for not just a rainy day, but for spectacular competitions. For example, maybe the next evolution of our Pro Series or something comparable, something again that's beyond just even the national stage or even a world championship. So there's that side to me. We have to be logical, um, and build the members. So success, of course, will be defined by making sure we're retaining and boosting our membership, and of course, other metrics like how many more competitions are we holding per year across the country and the world. I want to boost that. How many meet directors do we have registered? How many referees do we have? Hopefully, even on higher tiers like national Cat 1 and Cat 2. Now, those are very concrete numbers that we can measure, and I want to boost all of them. But on the emotional side, I want my legacy to be that I'm a leader who loves the sport. Like, I want all our members to know my face, know my voice, and be like, that guy cares. And that guy is showing up at local meets and state meets and national, international meets because he has love for the sport and love for our members. I want my legacy to be that I am a president who doesn't think anything is above or below me. Like I, and according to the job description, I'm an everything person, right? I'm gonna wear every single hat if I have to. I don't care if I have to get my hands dirty. Like I love it, you know? I don't care if I have to be a president who's spotting and loading at a local meet. Why not? I'm healthy, relatively young, I'm capable. I could show up at your local meet, help out with your live stream. I don't want to just be the face. I want to be the man who uh, walks the walk as a president and works hand in hand with the executive director and the rest of the executive committee and every other committee. Be like, we care. This sport should not just be drug free. It should be also about passion, community, helping each other out, small businesses, helping artists. I just want to see everyone thrive in our organization. So I think that's the emotional side or the less tangible side I want to accomplish.
Awesome. All right. So I have a hypothetical for you. So you're the meet director for the IDFPA Worlds, you said, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So let's say that you're not. Let's hypothetically say that you're competing in this event.
Hmm.
You're in third place and you load your third deadlift to move you into first place. What
Hmm.
song are you listening to?
Ah, my favorite band is Audio Slave. Are you familiar with that band?
I am.
Yes. Um, and I think his name is Chris Cornell, was it? Yeah. It's just coincidentally the school I went to as well. I mean, unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but my favorite song by them is Like a Stone, because when the pressure is on, I am like a stone. I am unmoved. I'm willing to take it on. Heaviest stone you got, I'll be there. I'll do whatever it takes to win within reason. Again, I do have that emotional side to me, but when it's game time, I get stuff done.
All right. Good explanation on the song. I like it. All right. Circling back to actually the interview here.
Mhm.
So I guess in your own words, if there's anything you wanted to add, I mean, if you're trying to sell me and the rest of the membership on Daniel Mako Kim as the next president, I guess what would your final pitch be? Closing arguments, I guess, if you will.
Okay, closing arguments. There's something I heard the other day in a random, Instagram reel in passing. The algorithm just happened to suggest it to me. And I'm not generally like fond of, platitudes and, just little cheesy sayings. But this guy was given a speech. I don't even know his name because it's just a random reel. But he was saying, once you're a leader, you should not expect to work less. You should expect to work more. And he explained that that is the duty and the definition of being a leader. And that is the leader I want to be. Like that really resonated with me. And I think, again, I think I'm at a perfect point in my life where I can devote my full-time resources to this position. Again, of all age groups, I think I'm in a sweet spot of not being too young for it because, again, I have a lot of experience in this industry and running businesses, but I'm also not too out of touch where I cannot communicate or reverberate with our younger generations. Again, I'm healthy, I'm happy, passionate about the sport. I can do this for a long, long time. Again, another cheesy platitude, right? When Steve Rogers said, I can do this all day. Uh, that's me. Uh, yeah, probably not the face you expect for Captain America, but I'm willing to be that person and looking forward to being that person. I enjoy the blood, sweat, and tears of making our organization better. I will be there for you no matter what level you are in our organization.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think that pretty much sums up questions I wanted to ask. I guess, are you open to people reaching out to you directly if they have questions? And if so, I guess how would they do that? How can people find you, I guess?
Honestly, I would love that. Like, I invite everyone to, send me a DM on Instagram. My personal Instagram is the name of my gym, train.true. Train period true. That's my personal Instagram. So please DM me there if you're more Instagram oriented. And if you want to shoot me an email, it's just my full name. I'm old enough to have gotten the awesome, perfect email from Gmail. It's just danielmakokim@gmail.com. Just my full name. Shoot me an email. I mean, I've already heard a lot of good feedback. I mean, good and bad feedback in terms of what we can do uh, as an organization from several state chairs and executive committee members. But I would love to just hear from the members themselves. Uh, to add, I am purposely making what I call a fireside chat series, in which I just sit down in front of a camera, no script, one take, no cuts, and just explain my views of what I bring to the table and what I think we can do better and what I plan to do as president. So you can stay tuned to that either on my personal Instagram or our YouTube channel, which is also just called Train True. They're called the Fireside Chats because, again, I just want you to sit down with me virtually, get to know me, no filter, no script, see who I am, and show that I am really passionate about this and I will get it done.
Awesome. All right. Well, I appreciate you being on today, sharing your kind of viewpoints a little bit, and I appreciate your service to USA Powerlifting, and good luck at the election in June.
Thank you so much. Are you going to be there?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, awesome. So I
Yeah,
would
I
love
live
to.
in Atlanta, so
Oh,
I'm
yeah, that's convenient.
I'm about 20 minutes from the venue.
And I'm about 20 hours from the venue. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
same, right?
So,
Close enough.
yep.
Yeah, I really look forward to just chatting with you too, because again, heard a lot about you and I know how involved you are. And I just like to get to know everyone, even before or during nationals. Heads up, I might be a referee at nationals, and USAPL Korea has a reputation for being the strictest in the world, in a good way. So I'm sure I'll see you on the platform.
All right, sounds good. Well, I appreciate your time, and we'll see you in Atlanta.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, please remember to subscribe and share it with your friends.